All right, switching gears to the next crystal ball for the Miami Hurricanes, and it's definitely a big one of my favorite players in the country. As we scroll down, Zachary Turner, a tight end from Duncanville. He's a 3-star there on 3. I believe he is a composite 4-star, and I think that's really more along the lines of where his talent is. Just for my personal opinion, this is the D Money opinion. Take it for what it is. This is one of my favorite players in the country. Elijah Lofton, I almost called him Brevin Jordan. Elijah Lofton 2 years ago was one of my favorite players in the country from the start. And I see a lot of similarities between Elijah Lofton and Zachary Turner. I know others do as well. They wear the number 9. That one's kind of obvious. They're both undersized tight ends, really more offensive weapons. Brevin Jordan went to one of the best teams in the country, one of the best schools in the country. I keep calling him Brevin Jordan, same program. Elijah Lofton and Brevin Jordan went to one of the best programs in the country in Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas. Zachary Turner goes to Duncanville, which is an outstanding program in Texas. And both of these guys are just tremendous all-around football players, tough, instinctive, fast, you name it. I think Turner more of a receiver, whereas Lofton, I think he's more of a running back. But they both, really kind of fit in that tight end H-back role. Fresh is saying he's a 3-star. He's a 3-star on all 3. And I believe 247, but he's a 4-star on the composite, the industry ranking. And I think, again, we'll watch the film, but I'm telling you, I think when you look at Zachary Turner, you're talking about a 4-star talent. If you don't believe me, let's turn on the tape. Let's look at what we're talking about with Zachary Turner, why I think he is one of the absolute legitimate best players in the country. And one of the kind of, to me, the targets here for the Canes that you're dying to land. At least I am dying to land. I just think this guy is absolutely spectacular. So here we go. Turn on the tape. Again, this is Duncanville. This is a big-time program in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Quarterback Keelan Russell went to Alabama. Look at the speed, man. These are real guys chasing. These are guys who are going to play football for a living here, chasing him, and he is just cooking them. I really think he could probably be a wide receiver. You see him in some of his 7-on-7 highlights. He's catching passes, doing backflips. This is a big-time athlete. You see him. He really, to me, is an oversized receiver with the speed and twitch and instincts to get it done. We talked about, how productivity is so important with wide receivers, that you want guys. Look at the toughness there, which I love. Look at this core strength and balance. I love guys that have that core strength to break tackles at receiver. You don't want guys that can get knocked over easily. They get knocked off their routes. They can't catch over the middle. This guy can do all that, plus the run after catch. Statistically outstanding, 933 yards on only 58 catches, 16 touchdowns. This is, again, for a big-time program. Look at him block and just bury guys. I absolutely love this guy. One similarity from him and Lofton, and I told the story on a previous podcast, which is that when Miami was recruiting Elijah Lofton, they asked the Chaminade guys, Jeremiah Smith, JoJo Trader, all those guys, who the best player they faced was. And Jeremiah Smith in particular was like, man, Lofton's the dude. Number 9 for Bishop Gorman. That guy is the best player we've seen all year. He's unreal. Yeah, I think he scored like 5 touchdowns against Chaminade. So the real players know who the real players are. And I heard when it comes to Turner, when they asked Texas guys and Texas coaches, who's the best guy around, they're all talking about this dude. You can see what the plays he's making and the productivity he has. Like Trey Moore says, he makes fast people look not fast. That is absolutely the case. So really, really talented guy. I think this is the one that, in terms of the tight ends, and we're after, I think Isaiah Briggs, good chance we get him tomorrow as a commit, and he's got a lot of people excited in Coral Gables. But if you're asking me, and this is my opinion, this is the CanesInSight, the money opinion. This is not necessarily, I do not speak for the staff or for anybody else when I say this, but my favorite guy is this guy right here. We'd love to get him. He visited SMU, which a lot of people thought might go all in for him. Miami's able to I think get an edge on SMU, which is why you're seeing the crystal balls. He visited Oklahoma this past week, and Oklahoma thinks they got a chance here. And I would not dismiss Oklahoma, who just had that visit, because look at that route. Because as we learned with John Mateer, who's also from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Oklahoma is kind of like a home team for those guys. You think of Dallas-Fort Worth, you think Texas teams at A&M, University of Texas, but really the Oklahoma Sooners, as far as the traditional blue bloods, I know you have SMU and you have TCU, but in terms of the traditional blue bloods, Oklahoma is probably the closest one to that area. So they get a lot of guys from that area. John Mateer, their quarterback, being one example. So there are some advantages for Oklahoma with a guy like Turner. I think if you're Miami, your tight end tradition, the fact that your offense was so dynamic last year with Elijah Arroyo going high like he did, the fact that Elijah Lofton is a focal guy, and I think Turner. I know Turner visited for spring. I saw him there, legitimate 225-pound player. They measured him in. I think he was there when he saw Elijah Lofton playing, and if he saw any practice, which I know he did, and Elijah Lofton practice, which I think he practiced pretty much every position or every practice, he saw that Elijah Lofton getting catch after catch after catch because that's how the whole spring was. Elijah Lofton, a lot of people think, myself included, best player on the team. So he saw how they use Elijah Lofton. Very easy to say, hey, you see number 9? That's you. You see Elijah Royal last year on tape getting drafted high? That's you. And again, I think the way he runs routes, his strength to break tackles, his twitchiness, his toughness. This is an instant impact player. There you see again, catch kind of like with Spafford. It's one thing to be fast. It's one thing to not slow down when you catch the ball over the middle, to pluck the ball with your hands, and to really use that speed as opposed to just being like a track guy. This is definitely not a track guy, nor is Van Spafford. These are football players, and I'm really, really fired up about this guy. Some questions on Hezi Kent in the chat. I see Lagoon saying it looks like we're focused on Turner and Briggs and not Kent. I mean, and Devin there asking about Kent. We would love to get Kent. Hezi Kent's a stud, big 290-pounder from Brunswick, Georgia. Texas is in there. Florida's in there, which is kind of one of the nearby schools. Tallahassee's in there. He's up there by the Florida-Georgia border in Brunswick. There's a lot of interest in Hezi Kent. We got him down for an official. We had him down for an unofficial. Miami would love, love, love to land Hezi Kent. They love nothing more. But there's other schools involved there. I think we have more momentum right now with Turner and with Briggs. Briggs, more of your traditional tight end height at 6'5", but I think he's actually lighter than Turner. So both of these guys are kind of like oversized wide receivers, different frames. I think Miami, if you don't get you'd like Hezi Kent to just be your big inline monster. If you can't get that done, we'll see. Maybe you recruit somebody like that. Maybe you get someone in the portal. You got Luka Gilbert last year. I think is going to have that role for a few years. Big inline, powerful guy. And then these other two, kind of more your oversized receivers who can cause a lot of problems. And you see these guys in the pros. I mean, Travis Kelce, he'll block, but he's there to catch passes from Mahomes. There's a million guys like that. I'd put these guys in that category, not in that class. I mean, not saying they're going to be the best of all time, but you know what I mean? That you're getting these guys, Zach Turner and Izzy Briggs, because you think they're going to be really good receivers for you and help you that way. Over 1,000 on live right now. Remember to like and subscribe to the show, share the show. Appreciate you guys joining us here every morning, man. So I get more and more in these morning shows, trying to be more consistent with what we do, delivering the CanesInSight podcast. Look at that block.